Today's life has become more stressful and competitive. Stress predisposes to disease. Physical agility and mental alertness have gained importance. Hence, for both active and stress-free life, highly balanced food intake is of utmost importance. To enjoy the best of physical and mental health, one has to rely on right food, which is not only nutritious but also contains energy, minerals and vitamins in a balanced ratio. In other words, balanced food. As there is no synthesis of protein in the body, it has to be provided on a day-to-day basis through our daily intake of healthy food. In order to meet the energy requirements, body utilizes whatever available proteins and fat. If you're looking for best healthy food with high protein retention and amino acids, trust the chicken lean meat. Chicken meat is a very popular meat and is most loved dish across all age groups. Chicken meat has become a mark of celebration and well-being among many. We say chicken meat is the best meat. Come, let us find out how chicken can be our best food. How does the whole process of producing a highly nutritious chicken meat match qualitative parameters of a health-conscious society? We have critically examined the scientific and nutritional aspects involved in various methodologies adapted by the poultry sector in the farm-to-fork journey of the chicken.
Chicken meat is very good for all age group, especially for children, growing children, school-going children, for mothers, elderly people, even for diabetic people, because chicken meat do not contain carbohydrate and it mainly contains good quality protein, vitamins, minerals and very low in fat.
Chicken, when you compare to the other meat, especially that of red meat, chicken and fish are topping the charts because they are very lean. They have got less amount of visible fat. It has also got a good amount of cholesterol, which is heart healthy.
We chose few acclaimed companies in the poultry sector and embarked on our study right from the hatchery stage to the market stage. Which meant we touched upon not only the hatchery unit and processing units but also the chicken feed unit and breeding farm.
Foods of animal origin are very important in our diet. The meat from the birds, chicken meat, whether it is broiler meat or any other meat from chicken, it is universally accepted and so it can be used unconditionally. When it comes to affordability and accountability, thanks to our Indian poultry industry, the way they have grown, they have made it affordable to everybody and the price of chicken meat is most of the time comparable to any other vegetable in the market. So chicken meat, it can be prepared in the form of a curry or in the form of a barbecue or in the form of a fried product or most popularly along with the rice it becomes as a biryani.
The hatching eggs are transported meticulously in AC vehicles to the hatchery unit. These vehicles pass through a disinfectant sprayer. The eggs are delivered at the receiving section and every individual is required to follow the biosecurity norms before entering the hatchery unit. The fresh hatching eggs are stored in cold room with a preset temperature. Good eggs are separated in trays during grading and setting process and the trays are moved to the setter hall. In the setter machine, the temperature, relative humidity and ventilation is maintained adequately so that these hatching eggs are developed in a controlled environment and gradually progress towards the hatching stage after 18.5 days.
Because of antioxidant properties that is present in chicken meat, like it is very rich in selenium, very rich in vitamin E. These are mainly responsible to minimize the oxidative damage of the tissues. Consumption of chicken meat, since it is rich in minerals, for example calcium, especially vitamin B12 and folic acid, they are very essential for blood formation, what we call as a hemoglobin and blood formation. Chicken meat is very rich in minerals. For example, phosphorus, zinc, iron, selenium, iodine. These minerals are very essential to minimize the arthritis. Arthritis is very common among the elderly people, and these minerals are very essential for the teeth development. Since the chicken meat is very rich in proteins, vitamins and minerals, it is very essential for the muscle development. So what we advise always a combination of vegetarian plus non-vegetarian food.
Every hatchery unit is headed by well-qualified veterinary doctors. The eggs are transferred from the setter machine to the hatching machine for the next 2.5 to 3 days, after which the eggs start hatching, which is called the pull-out process. The entire process of 21 days is very scientifically managed, executed professionally and handled meticulously. After all the eggs are hatched, they are transferred to the chick room through conveyor. Chicks are then assorted to be dispatched to the broiler farms for breeding and growth during next 40 days. The trays used in the entire process are also thoroughly washed and fumigated before they are reused. These chicks are transferred to various breeding farms.
A chicken is a very good animal protein available in the Indian market. So requirement for every individual, the requirement of protein is around 1 grams per kg body of weight. So suppose a person is weighing around 70 kg, he has to take 70 grams of proteins. The proteins has got a calorific value of approximately 6 kilocalories per gram of protein. Chicken proteins can be taken, there is no age limits, growing children, a lactating mother, pregnant ladies and even old age people, anybody can take. It helps in maintaining the good muscle mass as well as a source of energy.
We shall also now have a look into the chicken feed plant to understand the process of producing a qualitative chicken feed. The vehicles entering the chicken feed producing plant will have to pass through the disinfectant sprayer. Chicken feed is the most important aspect in the overall healthy growth of the chicks. The chicken feed, which is provided to the farms by these feed producing plants, depend on maize, soya bean, DOB, etc. for developing a very nutritious diet which is also hygienic and healthy. Lot of research and study goes behind producing the highly nutritious and healthy feed to facilitate good and fast growth in chicks.
My name is Kantaraju, a farmer from Parmarhalli village of Hoskote Taluk. I am into chicken farm business since 15 years. In our farm, we have 10 to 15 days old chicks. We take care of overall hygienity and also provide lab tested high quality water to these chicks. We never feed any type of hormones or chemicals to these chicks in our farm. Very good companies supply us high quality chicken feed. The feed supplied by these companies are made using high quality maize and soya bean. That is why our chicks grow into birds weighing 2 to 2.2 kg within 40 days. So birds grown in such well monitored breeding process are only supplied or sold to the market. People can consume such fully grown healthy birds without any kind of inhibitions or fear.
We understand the source of achieving the desired growth in these chicks lies completely on the highly standardized chicken feed, which is lab tested and produced with research oriented doctors and professionals.
What diet should we have? This is the most important question which patients ask us. To my patients, I always say them, have a diet which is mixed and balanced. A diet which should contain cereals, pulses, vegetables and also non-vegetarian diet. Why should we have non-vegetarian diet? Actually, non-vegetarian diet contain lot of proteins which help us provide calories to perform our day-to-day activities. Further, iron content from the animal foods is more easily absorbed from the gut than the iron from the vegetable foods. This iron helps in formation of hemoglobin, which is an important constituent of the red blood cells. Chicken is the best form of animal food which has to be taken. There are two types of fatty acids, the saturated fatty acids and the unsaturated fatty acids. The most important unsaturated fatty acid is the omega-3 unsaturated fatty acid, which plays a role in protecting from heart ailments, and this content of omega-3 unsaturated fatty acid is 6 times more in poultry meat when compared to the red meat. This helps the person from heart ailments, etc. Now, whatever proteins which we take, are they being utilized by the body or are they being lost in the body? So, for this, the researchers have devised a score known as net protein utilization. 80% of the proteins of the poultry meat are being utilized. Now, people ask me, soya bean also contains good amount of proteins. Should I take them? Will that help? Now, soya bean contain good amount of proteins, but again the net protein utilization of soya bean is less. Then, so you may take soya bean, they may not be utilized by the body.
Now, coming back to the chicks, which are transported from the hatching units to various farms for breeding process. At one of these farms, we witnessed a very stringent and disciplined measures followed to facilitate a very clinically maintained hygienic environment with highly purified water conducive for healthy growth of chickens. There are 3 stages of breeding: growth stage, development stage and market stage. The chicken feed is also accordingly given in 3 types: pre-starter feed, starter feed and finisher feed.
Chicken meat do not contain trans fatty acid. Trans fatty acid is not a desirable fatty acid. It is more prone to the heart disease, and overall what is most important is the balanced food. It depends whether we are a vegetarian or non-vegetarian. Among the non-vegetarians, we recommend chicken meat, and it is more easily digestible also, this chicken meat. It is very good even for elderly people. The cholesterol content of chicken meat is also very low. So, in that way chicken scores very good among the non-vegetarian people. That is why we recommend to consume the chicken meat among the non-vegetarians to be more strong, healthy, to be more competitive, not only in the sports field, in all fields of life. It is required even for the working class, for the labor class, for the executive class. For all class it is required for overall health development, brain development also, because it contains tryptophan, which is very essential for the good brain development.
As infections and diseases are integral part of any living organism. Firstly, we have to either treat the birds with antimicrobials or chemicals when they get infected, or secondly, anticipate these infections and protect the chicken by administration of vaccines which are only biological and free from chemicals or antimicrobials. The commercial chicken production religiously follows the second option, which promotes health not only for the chicken but also for the end consumers. Watching at the growth of these birds, we understand that the good and fast growth in these chicks is attributed to genes, breeding pattern, highly nutritious pellet chicken feed and scientific management, which is wholesome. These farms also strictly adhere to SOP, Standard Operating Procedures, and also HACCP, Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Points. We also found that poultry nutrition was much better than human nutrition. These fully grown birds weighing 2 to 2.2 kgs are transferred to market and processing plants after 36 to 40 days.
Chicken also has got a good amount of vitamins and minerals. So when I talk about minerals, it is basically the B-soluble vitamins, which is really in good amounts. And the best part about it, it also has vitamin B6 and B12, which is a very good factor. It helps in the energy metabolism and also in certain cases acts as even as an antidepressant also. The best part about chicken is it's a very versatile meat. You can cook it the way you want and you can eat it the way you want. So it will definitely be a good gastronomic experience. But with a good right information on choosing the right kind of chicken and knowing the nutrition and the food safety methods will definitely make it even more good, better to get an optimal health. The nutrient requirements varies across the lifespan, right from the infants to the geriatric population. We have seen that the protein requirements as a person, as a child ages, there is an increase in the protein requirement, and later on we start considering it as 0.8 to 1 gram per kg body weight that is required. So during all this time, it's very important to focus on the kind of protein that we consume, and ideally it should be 50% of the protein from a high biological value source. So chicken being a most affordable fits into this bill, and we find that it has been one of the most popular dishes across the age groups. If it is really taken in moderation, it definitely fits into the bill.
We shall have a look at the processing plants. The birds from the various farms are also dispatched to the processing plants for producing chicken meat for the end consumer. The vehicles carrying these birds are thoroughly sprayed with disinfectants. Before entering the plant, the wind blown from the fans make the birds stress-free. These birds are treated very humanly and considerately before moved into the processing plant through the shackles. The birds are then hanged to shackles by well-trained personnel. The trained mullahs perform the halal slaughter. After a time lapse, the birds are ensured a peaceful death. The birds get washed thoroughly using only RO water in the entire process. A professional veterinary doctor does the inspection of the birds for any sort of abnormality which is not fit to be consumed as per food safety norms set by FSSAI. Each and every stage of processing plant has a dedicated research lab which ensures that the chicken meat processing is matching the standards set by the food safety authorities. Finally, the chicken goes into the washer for a complete wash. After the chilling process of the chicken in less than 4 degrees Celsius, again the packages are rechecked before dispatching through metal detectors to identify physical contamination and any kind of hazards. Cold chain for safety and quality of chicken meat gains paramount importance in a tropical country like India. The chicken reaches the end consumers in a condition which is fully safe to be consumed without any fear.
In India, we have protein, energy, malnutrition in rural areas. By widely eating chicken proteins, we can control this protein, energy, malnutrition. And one more thing is, eating chicken will not transmit any viral diseases, because the Indian way of cooking a chicken is different. Either it is fried or it is boiled. In that condition, almost all the viruses are killed and no disease is transmitted by eating a chicken. Even we recommend eating chicken proteins for diabetic patients as well as any malnutrition patient, even a chronic disease conditions, in order to maintain the nutrition status.
Whatever meat comes, it is coming from a healthy, naturally grown bird, and it is alive when it is slaughtered. At the time of slaughter, when the animal is not dead, that it is living naturally and healthily, and when it is slaughtered, the meat is not supposed to have any kind of problems which are detrimental to the health of the consumer.
On the other hand, the chickens which were dispatched to the market are also maintained very hygienically at the retail outlets. Food safety norms and procedures are adapted so that the customer gets best of the chicken meat as desired and as norms set by the food safety authorities.
When it comes to consuming chicken, moderation is the key. So it is very essential that we take only what is recommended by the nutritionist or the dietitian. Though we talk about the benefits of chicken, but it is also important to know the right method of cooking. So when you're talking about the right method of cooking, it's very important that we use less oil in the cooking, and the kind of chicken that we are consuming is also important. So contrary to the belief that chicken is the only good amount of protein, there are other protein sources also, but chicken would be the best quality protein when you're looking at its bioavailability. It's a very versatile meat.
The cholesterol content of chicken meat is also very, very low. What I advise is buy the already processed chicken, nicely cleaned and packed, healthy chicken, that is most important. And what we require per day is about 100 to 150 grams of chicken, that's all we need. But in our day to day habit, what we do, in the weekend we consume quite a lot, which is not desirable. We require every day 100 grams to 150 grams.
In order to meet the energy requirements, body utilizes whatever available proteins and fat.
I have been eating boiler chicken from very good companies from the last few decades, and I found it very tasty and nutritious. Boiler chicken are very safe and hygienic. In fact, I have increased my chicken intake as per the diet plan, and what better food than broiler chicken.
Enjoy your chicken meat, because any day is chicken day and any time is chicken time.
Any time is chicken time. I love chicken.
Anytime is chicken time. I love chicken.
Anytime 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 is chicken time. I love chicken.
Anytime chicken time. I love chicken.
Anytime chicken time. I love chicken.
Anytime is chicken time. We love chicken. We love chicken.
If you're looking for best healthy food with high protein retention and amino acids, then trust the chicken laying meat. So, having witnessed the journey of chicken from farm to fork, go ahead. Allow the chicken meat to do wonders to your body and the way you feel. Eat chicken and stay healthy. Farm to fork, the journey of chicken.